So I got in trouble. I surprised myself because, sometimes as a writer, you get in trouble and you know it's going to be trouble.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have no idea what's going to come at you.
Sometimes you stumble into trouble. So
yes. I know nothing about this, Matt. I'll just have to listen to your experience.
After George Floyd died, I wrote a piece, and it was about how the number of African Americans killed by police officers had declined quite substantially since Michael Brown and that wave of protests.
I think almost halved.
It was
something close to that.
I forget exactly what it was, and it was weird because it was partially offset. More white people were being killed in rural areas, even as fewer black people in big cities. At any rate, I didn't think of this as a contrarian. I do contrarian stuff. I'm a contrarian person. I thought this was just, I'm pitching in for the team here. I am trying to tell people that these past 5-6 years worth of marching and signs
has worked
and talking, yes, that it's effective, that like this is good. Like people, mayors are changing policies and it is working. I got incredible blowback for this. And it was, again, sometimes you write controversial stuff with your eyes wide open. I was taken aback by the interpretation of that positivity as antithetical to the cause. To me, what will hurt, I think this wound up happening, what hurts the cause of criminal justice reform is when the people who are most passionate about it become convinced that it's hopeless. And so they go either endorse something crazy, like we just shouldn't have police departments because reform is impossible, or they do something irresponsible, like smash the window of the stores, right? That you, in fact, had a movement that was making progress, that people, white Americans had been too dismissive of these kinds. You sort of knew, you heard, but people were not listening, right? And video was very potent. It made people pay attention. And the increased prominence of African-American writers and people in the media was making more people pay attention. And things were, in fact, changing. In the way that things change, it's not wholly satisfactory.
In that particular case, it was quite a swift change. But it was in a matter of years.
Right. But I mean, you never get, unfortunately, in politics, you don't get like the catharsis, right? Like the head of the police union isn't like, oh my God, we actually are terrible. But things were happening. Like it was getting better. And then somehow that was not the right thing to say about it, that was like downplaying the suffering or the injustice. But I don't think that doesn't make sense. Like you're not going to make progress, whether it's on climate or race or, there is homophobia in America still, but like you don't address these problems by pretending there hasn't been progress, because obviously there has been, but B, like the hardest thing in politics is to maintain morale. That it's hard to make constructive political change. You need to be engaged. You need to be determined. You need to be disciplined. And that means you need to know that progress occurs.